I originally had a whole response video prepared for Weegeepie, but I decided to sideline it considering Weegeepie has recently responded to me from a recent document. I want to take this as seriously as I can as the adult here. The entire purpose of this video is to defend myself and to also admit where I was wrong. After this, I'm choosing to distance myself from Weegeepie as a whole and will not be talking publicly about it anymore. For context for those who are confused, there was a recent smaller controversy involving me, Saf VA, Plum Pudding, Resprune, the vid game, and Lumi. Lumi is the main person who has been about this controversy. The TLDR of it was Resprune was being relentlessly harassed by Lumi and has led to him blocking them. It's also led to Plum Pudding and Saf VA being put under the crosshairs, and I ended up making a thread encouraging my followers to block Lumi for this. Lumi has been going against Resprune, using older accusations of Resprune, which is Resprune being accused of being a groomer. If you wish to look at both sides of the story to come with your own conclusions, I linked both Resprune's response and Lumi's response in the description. My testimony is also present in Resprune's response, so for further context, please give them a read. I mainly want to respond to Weegeepie mainly because of him having a response in Lumi's response. Before I go further, I just want to state the irony of Lumi going after Resprune for being a groomer, yet there's mountains of evidence against Weegeepie about him being a groomer, and Weegeepie doing nothing to properly disprove said allegations, except for one being the allegations of him sexually assaulting his ex-girlfriend, which I previously dismissed, but I wish to retract said statement. He did do a good job defending himself for that allegation. But regardless, I want to go over his response to me and respond to it. He starts it off by saying, to KB, "You have always been an insanely irrational cunt. I do agree that back in the Patreon days, Rayman, Watred, etc. were dogpiling you. I tried my best to make the situation better, but really I have done nothing to try to help. Yet you completely blocked me. Why? Because I didn't like FNF at the time. Like, seriously? Lucas, you do know I originally blocked you because of how you handled the online spat, and I told you to stop. You called most of the FNF community either children or pedophiles, and I told you in DMs to stop. You refusing to stop is why I blocked you originally. I was willing to unblock you and rekindle this friendship, but that sale has long since shipped clearly. I've stated this numerous times in my videos, and at this point, I don't care about your opinions on the game anymore. At this point, it's a non-factor. Actually try to disprove your allegations first instead of bringing this up. After the allegations, you honestly milked it to fucking hell. I saw in my timelines your tweets talking about me every single day, constantly mentioning me. Also, apparently talking about being a former Patreon supporter or whatever. You're just fucking obsessed, but you were one of 3, but I digress. Believe it or not, I don't talk about you every single day. I have other interests. Whether or not you think I'm milking it, it doesn't matter. Admittedly, I've talked about you a lot. I will give you that. But I didn't talk about you every single day. I also love how you say this line. Apparently, being a former Patreon supporter or whatever. Then what the fuck were you saying in the first paragraph? Back in the Patreon days? How does this not say I support you on Patreon? You fucking drew my avatar as part of your Patreon rewards, you idiot. And now, similarly blocking Lumi and making a fuss publicly, when you could have just blocked them quietly and not be a drama queen, just because they're willing to listen to me. The bare fucking minimum. You also misgendered them. However, you acknowledged it and apologized, which Resprune didn't, so I'll give you that at the very least. I've taken the time to listen to you before, and I don't believe your defenses. It's plain and simple. My reasoning for calling Lumi out was to stand up for somebody I considered a friend that I felt was being wrongly attacked. I could have handled it way better, but I just wanted to stand up to somebody that I believed to be a friend. However, it really just seems you instantly believed Resprune despite not even making your own research about it. Why is this? Why am I the absolute devil to you, but Resprune, oh no, he's fine, don't even need to check. You had to private because you couldn't even simply respond to the concerns. I have spoken to Resprune about the whole thing, and listened to him. His issues with you was that you didn't help him properly when he was going through these accusations, which you knew about. He told you about this before. As for privating, if you read my part of the document, you would know I only privated just because of the amount of mental pressure I felt at that time. You obviously missed that. I definitely think what's funniest is that as of 2025, I've taken a liking to FNF again. Most of the issues, who fucking cares, let's keep going. Hot takes do not mean anything, but like, you absolutely do not judge things properly. You are choosing to have this immature beef with a fucking 14-year-old. You and everybody else, and you are willingly choosing to associate with someone like Resprune, without even being knowledgeable, apparently. I don't care if Lumi is a minor, this behavior is unacceptable, and Lumi needs to learn that it's not okay to do, regardless of age. Letting Lumi get away with this behavior is basically blindly excusing it. To my knowledge, that does make you fall into the category of a bad actor. You are a hypocrite because, as I've said, you blindly trust Resprune without checking when there's a lot to be left desired. And for me, just like everybody else, you assume I'm guilty without looking at my side. This is just some two-faced bullshit. A fucking 14-year-old has to be the one to finally ask for my side and investigate. It's really ironic you are calling me a hypocrite and a bad actor here, considering you have done the same thing before. Classic case of, I know you are, but what am I? I'm not above criticism. I make mistakes. And if I'm wrong, I will apologize for it and move on. I didn't blindly trust Resprune. Resprune has shown me his side of the story, and I didn't blindly believe him. I trusted him because I felt he was not a bad actor in his situation. He cut ties with you just because you couldn't properly defend yourself from his accusations. I only see you as guilty just because you haven't shown good enough evidence to prove otherwise. If anything, the things you've shown makes you look worse. Basically, you only reap on what you saw, KB. At the end of the day, this is Lumi's situation here, and you did this to yourself by immaturely making an announcement you were blocking Lumi like you're on Discord picking everyone, showing no proof that Lumi is friends with me and misgendering them in the process. No proof that Lumi is friends with you. Then why the fuck are you here in this document? Why is Lumi in contact with you? As for the misgendering comment, I've already apologized for misgendering Lumi, and you yourself in the same segment acknowledged me properly apologizing for it. This response to me, along with his segment in Lumi's response, is entirely unneeded. Lucas didn't need to have his testimony in this response. Everybody who has been paying attention already knows Lucas is an unreliable narrator, and Lucas trying to paint me as an unreliable narrator is the most blatant attempt at projection I've ever seen. As I said before, I'm not perfect. I never claim to be perfect. I can be arrogant. I could be self-indulgent. I could be too quick to respond to others. But there's one thing I'm willing to say. I can admit it. Lucas genuinely can't. Lucas, if you want to prove me wrong, admit things that are wrong with you. Prove to me you aren't the things you accuse me of. I can't trust you anymore just because of these allegations and your failure to disprove them. I refuse to respond any further just because of how childish and tiring it is to continue to respond. I know I said in my previous response video that I won't be responding anymore, but I felt the need to respond one more time just because of Lucas actually responding to me. If you want to read Lumi's response in full, as well as Resprune's response, I linked them in the description, as well as in a pinned comment. I just want to say something. I know I already put a disclaimer at the start of the video, but this is mainly towards Lumi. Do not harass them. Despite my issues with Lumi, I do genuinely believe Lumi is not super malicious. Lumi is a young person as of this video, and I believe harassing Lumi is way too far. My issues with Lumi stemmed from them being super aggressive and refusing to be more mature and listen to those around them for acting prematurely. And Lumi, if you're watching this, please just stop doing this. I'm tired of this happening and I just wish to move on. And so should you. It's not fun to continue drama like this, and it's not fun to continue responding like this. As for everybody watching this, if you feel Resprune is a bad person from any conclusion you may draw, and you genuinely can't trust me anymore, then I don't blame you for unsubscribing. Accusations of grooming is serious, and considering that when it comes to how commonplace these situations are, I don't blame you for not trusting me anymore. I chose to trust Resprune because I believe he's not a groomer, simply because of what he has shown me and his side of the story. I chose to not trust Weegeepie because I believe the evidence provided against him, as well as the evidence he provided, was enough for me to consider him a bad actor. As for Weegeepie, I want to say something, because yes, I still hold a prejudice against you. Keep my name out your fucking mouth. If you think I'm going to continue to respond, I will not anymore, officially leaving you alone. Consider this a win on your end, if this is the outcome you wanted. Now actually disprove your accusations properly before you share poorly censored CSAM on your website. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time. Hope you like Dipsy, because I imagine that being your only roommate from now on.